The airport terminal was loud enough that most arguments vanished into the background, but this one cut through like a blade. At gate C12, passengers froze as a gate agent leaned over her counter, smirking at the man standing before her. He wasn't yelling. He wasn't arguing. He wasn't even irritated. He was calm. Too calm. He stood tall in dress blues, the unmistakable uniform of the tomb guard of Arlington National Cemetery. Perfect posture, polished metals, silent discipline. The gate agent rolled her eyes dramatically. So what? You guard a statue. You think that makes you important enough for early boarding? A few people gasped. Someone whispered, "Is she serious?" The tomb guard didn't flinch. He simply said, "Ma'am, I'm only asking to be seated quickly because my flight is delayed, and I'm due back for the midnight walk." She laughed, not kindly. "Well, maybe tell the unknown soldier to cover your shift." The terminal went silent. Passengers stared. But exactly 8 minutes later, as the agent slammed her boarding list onto the desk in irritation, her phone rang. On the screen flashed a caller ID she had never seen before. Pentagon, SecDef office. Her face drained of color, and that's when the day turned upside down. Before that phone call, the confrontation had already spread across the gate like wildfire. The guard's name was Sergeant Alex Rourke, a soldier of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard. Every step of his life was built on discipline. 21 steps, 21 seconds. Precision, honor, silence. Alex never argued with civilians. He'd stood watch in hurricanes without complaint. Being mocked wasn't new, but in public, with uniform on, it stung deeper than he expected. He simply stepped aside, ready to wait. Passengers approached him quietly. "Sir, you should complain. That wasn't right. You want us to talk to her for you?" He only shook his head. "Thank you, but my duty isn't to win arguments." What he didn't know was that someone in line had filmed the entire exchange and sent it to a friend stationed at the Pentagon, who sent it to their commander, who sent it to someone much higher. The clip traveled faster than luggage on the tarmac. In less than 8 minutes, the Pentagon was calling the gate desk. The agent answered the call with forced cheer. "Reagan Airport, Gate C12, this is Sandra." A cold, authoritative voice replied, "This is Colonel Whitaker, Office of the Secretary of Defense. Are you the gate agent who spoke to Sergeant Rourke?" Her mouth went dry. Passengers around her had heard the name Pentagon and were already whispering. She stammered, I was helping him, yes." "You will put the sergeant on the phone now." Sandra turned toward Alex, hands shaking. "Sir, they want to speak to you." Alex took the phone, confused but composed. "Sergeant Rourke speaking." Everyone watched as he listened silently, nodding once or twice. Then he hung up, handing the phone back gently. Sandra asked in a trembling voice, Are you in trouble?" Alex shook his head. "No, you are not in trouble either." But as he walked back to his seat, he added softly, "They just want me home on time." Exactly 3 minutes later, the airport manager sprinted to the gate. The manager approached the desk with the kind of hurried respect usually reserved for fire alarms. "Sandra, step aside," he said sharply. Then turning to the entire waiting area, he announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin priority boarding with military personnel, starting with Sergeant Rourke of the U.S. Army Tomb Guard." People applauded. Some stood. The gate agent looked away, face burning. As Alex approached the boarding lane, she whispered, I I didn't know who you were. He paused. You shouldn't need to know, ma'am. Respect doesn't depend on rank. Her eyes welled, not from humiliation, but realization. Passengers murmured approval as Alex walked down the jetway, posture unshakable. But the story wasn't over. Not even close. Part 5. The email heard around the terminal. The plane boarded smoothly, but the gate remained buzzing long after takeoff. 40 minutes later, every employee at Reagan Airport received a memo. Effective immediately, all active duty tomb guards and old guard personnel are to be granted priority boarding on all participating airlines. Passengers shared the news as it spread online. The clip of the confrontation reached millions within a day. Not because a gate agent was rude, but because of what happened afterward. Sandra, humbled, requested voluntary sensitivity training. She later wrote a message that went viral. I mocked a soldier who stands watch over men who can't defend themselves. I learned in 8 minutes what true honor looks like. As for Sergeant Alex Wark, he made it back to Arlington. Just before midnight, he stepped into place. 21 steps, 21 seconds, precision, honor, silence. When asked later about the incident, he simply said, "My job is to honor the fallen. If someone learns something from how we carry ourselves, then that's honor too." And somewhere in the stillness of the night at the tomb of the unknown soldier, the echoes of that lesson marched right alongside him.